Welcome back to Apex Sci-Fi. We like to think that if aliens studied Earth, they would focus on our achievements. The pyramids, the moon landing, the internet. But let's be honest, if you were an advanced species looking at humanity, you wouldn't focus on the few times we got it right. You would focus on the millions of times we got it hilariously, dangerously wrong. To the rest of the galaxy, Earth isn't a beacon of hope. It is a cautionary tale. It is the "don't try this at home" warning label of the universe. We are the species that split the atom before we invented wheels on our suitcases. We are the species that climbs Mount Everest just to die in a colder place. And nowhere is this clearer than in intergalactic history class, where the chapter on humanity is titled, Survival Despite Stupidity. Today's story is about Dave. Dave is the only human in History 101. Today's lecture is about primitive civilizations. And Dave is about to watch his species get roasted for 45 minutes straight. This is the story of why Florida Man is considered a mythological chaos deity in the Andromeda Galaxy. If you have ever done something dumb and survived by sheer luck, smash that like button. You are part of the statistic. And if you want to see an alien try to understand why we invented a challenge where we eat laundry detergent, subscribe and ring the bell. Open your textbooks to Chapter 4, Earth. Dave slumped in his hover chair. He loved history class usually. It was cool to learn about the Klingon Wars or the rise of the cyber elves. But today the syllabus said, Topic, Planet Sol 3 Earth. Subtitle, The Paradox of Intelligence. Professor Xylax, a floating cyborg with a monocle, dimmed the lights. Students, Xylax droned. Today we study the most confusing species in the galaxy. The humans. The class murmured. A few students looked at Dave with pity. Humans are unique, Xylax continued. They possess high intelligence, yet they have a wisdom stat of -5. They are smart enough to build nuclear reactors, yet dumb enough to build them on fault lines. Dave sank lower in his seat. Let us examine Exhibit A, Xylax gestured to the hologram. A video played. It was archival footage from the 21st century. It showed a teenager eating a Tide Pod. The alien students gasped. Why? Asked a fluid-based entity. Is it nutrition? No, Xylax explained. It is poison. It burns the esophagus. They did it for clout. This concept of clout killed 4% of their population. Did they stop? Asked a robot. No. They then proceeded to the milk crate challenge. Observe. The video switched to a man falling off a pyramid of plastic crates and hitting his spine. The human spine is fragile, Xylax noted. Yet they tested against plastic for amusement. Logic not found. Dave raised his hand. Professor? That was just a phase. We also did cool stuff. Like, we cured polio. True, Xylax nodded. You cured polio. And then you decided that vaccines were suspicious and brought measles back. A remarkable step backward. Moving on. Xylax swiped the hologram. Now we come to the most terrifying archetype of human history. The region known as Florida. Dave groaned. Oh no. The Florida Man, Xylax said with fear in his voice, is a being of pure chaos. He wrestles apex predators. He utilizes hurricanes as recreational wind tunnels. The hologram changed. It showed a news headline, Florida Man tried a barbecue during Category 5 hurricane. Observe, Xylax pointed. The wind speed is 150 miles per hour. The roof is flying off. Yet the male human is flipping a burger. He values the medium-rare temperature over his own survival. This is a level of stubbornness that defies physics. Another headline popped up, Florida Man breaks into jail to hang out with friends. Why? A telepathic alien whispered, holding its head. My mind cannot process the intent. Why break into a prison? We believe, Xylax theorized, that humans operate on a hold my beer algorithm. When challenged, their IQ drops to 0, but their invincibility rises to infinity. Dave felt the eyes of the room on him. Is it true, Dave? A rock student asked. Do you have a hold my beer mode? It's not a mode, Dave mumbled. It's a lifestyle. Finally, Xylax concluded. Let us look at their relationship with danger. Most species avoid predators. Humans pet them. The video showed a tourist in Yellowstone National Park walking up to a 2,000-pound bison. The tourist tried to take a selfie. The bison tossed him into the air. The class laughed. Natural selection, the robot beeped. System working as intended. Incorrect, Xylax corrected. The human survived. He sued the park. And then he went back the next year to pet a bear. The class went silent. They are unkillable, Xylax whispered, because they do not fear death. They treat death like a manager they want to speak to. Professor Xylax turned off the hologram. In conclusion, do not fight humans. You cannot predict them. If you point a laser gun at a human, they will not run. They will ask if it works like a lightsaber and try to touch it. They are a biological hazard. Class dismissed. Dave stood up to leave. He felt ashamed. A massive warrior alien Krog blocked his path. Dave flinched. Look, Krog, I know we look stupid, but... Krog grabbed Dave's hand and shook it. Respect, Krog grunted. Huh. My people fight for honor. Your people fight alligators? In parking lots? For fun. Yeah. That is the bravest thing I have ever heard, Krog said, eyes wide with admiration. You are a warrior race. You drink poison pods and ride storms. I want to be your friend. Teach me the way of the Florida man. Dave smiled. Well, Dave said. First, you gotta find a shopping cart and a steep hill. This has been Apex Sci-Fi. We might not be the smartest species, but we are definitely the most entertaining. If you have ever done something stupid for the Vine, hit that like button. Comment below. What is the most Florida man thing you have ever witnessed in real life? Subscribe. And please, don't pet the bison. Lesson learned.